Maracanã.
Oh, I know that. How nice. Very good. Congratulations. So
I
welcome.
think Gabriel study in Cefet too, but
He does.
he does mechanic engineer.
Mechanics. Oh, how nice. That's awesome. Really good. Beautiful career. Oh, hi, Nathan. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning, everybody, guys. Super welcome to our class today. Today, we are going to talk about some interesting topics. We will talk about habits as usual because our unit 9 is all about habits. And I'd like to ask you, what are your favorite pastime activities? What do you usually do when you're not working or studying? Hi, Gabriel. How nice. Good to see you. Good morning. So, what do you guys like to do when you are not working or studying? What do you like to do? I like to read whenever I have a chance, which is hard now. Now it's really hard. Reading is one of my favorite hobbies, but I haven't been reading lately. What about you guys? Oh, Nathan says he likes watching videos on YouTube or playing video games. Awesome, very good. Okay, Gabriel, watching animes. Oh, that's nice, Gabriel. I love watching animes. Oh, I wish I had more time. They're so good, aren't they? Yeah, I love those. They're so perfect. I like the drawing. I like the art. How they create those characters. How they create. So I like to see the art, the drawings. They are really beautiful. Yes. Okay, guys. So let's take a look at the topics for today, guys. Super welcome, Stare. Good morning. Good to see you.
Morning.
Good
You
morning.
too.
Yeah, that's very good. So let's see, people. Just a second, okay? I'm going to open up there. Today we are going to do page 67 today, okay? We're going to do this page starting from 67 and going up to 69, hopefully. All right. So the first thing that we have today here is a box, a grammar spot box, giving us the topic. Okay, guys. So it's about habits in present and habits in the past as well. So let's take a look at the box first. Let's zoom in. Okay. Let's try to zoom in so you can see that. Can you see that? Can you visualize? Yes? Great. So let's take a look, people. Look at the sentences that express present habit. So here we have sentence A, B, and C. Can you hear me? Yes? Yes, guys. Can you hear me, Danilo?
Yes.
Danilo will be my secretary today, okay? He was the first one to arrive. So, okay. Thank you, guys. So here we have A, B, and C. And then let's take a look at the sentences that express present habit. Okay? So let's see the first one. My sister works in a bank. The first one. Letter B. She's always borrowing my clothes without asking me. And she will go out on a Friday night and won't be back till late. So as you can see here, they all express habits in the present, but they are using different verb tenses. How can that be possible? Hey, good morning, Carlos. Welcome. So why is that? So let's see, which sentence expresses my attitude towards this habit of hers? Like, I find it annoying. Which one expresses that? When I say that something is annoying, which sentence here gives this idea? The first one, the second, the third. So let's see the next one. A simple fact about her. I'm talking about my sister, okay? So which sentence here expresses a simple fact about my sister? Very good. Excellent, people. The first one, letter A. My sister works in a bank. That's a simple fact, all right? Okay, so let me just write it down here using the pen here. This is going to be letter A. All right. Now, which one expresses a characteristic behavior? Something that is typical of her?
Letter C.
Letter C or letter B? Let's see. She'll go out on a Friday night and won't be back too late. That is a habit. This is characteristic. So, of course, that can be letter C. Okay, very nice. And the one that I find really annoying, the one that irritates me, letter B. She's always borrowing my clothes without asking me. And this is something I don't like. I really don't like this. So this is something annoying. So look, when I describe present habits, I can talk about something I find annoying. I can talk about a simple fact about a person, right? For example, she draws every weekend. Every weekend she likes drawing, okay? And I can talk about a typical behavior using the simple future to exemplify, okay? Even though I'm talking about the present, that's totally fine, okay? Now here in number 2, they ask us to put the sentences A to C into the past, and then let's see what we have, okay? So let's see the first one. My sister works in a bank. How would it be in the past? Hi, Pedro. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, Pedro? Very nice. My sister worked. Okay. Always observe, people, the pronunciation of the simple past. When it's regular verb, we usually use a sound that is a little different from the way we spell, okay? So here in the past, we spell like this, right? Because work is regular. But the pronunciation of this word in the past, this verb in the past, has a sound of T in the end. So my sister worked. My sister worked in a bank. So we have to make sure we use the correct pronunciation of the past tenses, right? In English, guys, this is something very important. We do not pronounce this vowel that we have here in the regular verbs. The ED, like we spell, is not pronounced like that. This vowel is all the time ignored, okay? But in some verbs, we need to use a sound of T, totally different from ED, right? We make it like a T sound. So here, my sister worked. The verbs that we use that, let me just show, this is a parenthesis, okay, guys? I'm just opening here because verbs that finish with SH, CH, S, K, all right, and X, whenever I conjugate these verbs that finish with these letters in the simple past, and of course, they are regular verbs, I have to use the sound of T in the pronunciation. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I pronounce as if it was spelled with T. So for example, let's see another verb here. Wash. In the simple past, it's regular, so it becomes washed. Washed. Okay? Just like that. We don't say this vowel and we don't pronounce the D. Okay? A verb that finishes with CH, like for example, watch. Watch TV. Watched. Yesterday I watched TV at night. Yesterday I watched TV. Okay? Work. Like the verb that finishes with K. Let's see that. Here. Let's make a different word. Let's use the word of the verb walk. Walk in the past is regular. So we spell like this. Okay? But we do not pronounce the way we spell. We say walked. Walked. So yesterday I walked in the park. Yesterday I walked in the park. Okay? Now a verb that finishes with the letter X. For example, the verb to fix. Okay? That's the verb that ends with X and it's regular. So we spell the verb fix in the past like this. Okay, people? So yesterday I fixed my computer. Yesterday I fixed my computer. All right, guys. Morning, Kathleen. Good to see you. All right. So let's see a verb that ends in S. Okay. So let's see here, for example, the verb to kiss. Okay. This verb ends with the letter S. In the simple past, this verb is regular. So we write like this. But we do not pronounce like that. We don't pronounce the way we write. No. Here we say kissed. Kissed. T sound. Okay? So for example, yesterday my mother kissed me. Yesterday my mother kissed me on the cheek. Right? Okay, kissed. So here we have, my sister works in a bank. We are talking about habits, how to express habits. I gave this explanation because we are talking about this exercise here. Number 2, put sentences A to C into the past, okay? Express sentence A in 2 ways. So here we have there, in the past, my sister works becomes my sister worked. My sister worked in a bank, okay? A good difference between a student that is level B2 and a student that is still level A or A1 or A2 is exactly the pronunciation, okay, guys? So it's important to work on that. So make sure you pronounce the verbs in the simple past correctly. It's really nice to improve your fluency and also to be better understood by native speakers, okay? So that's all right. Let's go here. My sister worked in a bank. Awesome. Now here, letter B. He's always borrowing my clothes without asking me. How can I put this in the past? I have to put the verb to be in the past, of course. She is always becomes she was always, okay? So she was always borrowing my clothes without asking me. And how can we make the third one in the simple past? She will go out on a Friday night. In the past, I would have to say, she would, okay, go out on a Friday night and won't be back. Wouldn't be back. Okay, too late. So in all the ways here, guys, let me try to place this thing here. I know that you need to have a notebook to write this because they don't offer enough room for you to write, okay? So here, my sister works in a bank. My sister worked in a bank. She's always borrowing my clothes. She was always borrowing my clothes. She will go out on a Friday night and won't be back. So she would go out and wouldn't be back. Okay? In both ways, guys, I'm expressing habits. All right? No problem. So here we have express A in two ways. So here, my sister worked in a bank. What is another way I can talk about a best habit that my sister had? Like they say here. What can I say about my sister in the past in relation to working in a bank? Does anybody know? As you can see here, guys, I can express the past habit using the simple past normally, or I can also say, for example, my sister would work in a bank. Okay? My sister would work in a bank. When I say that, I'm also expressing a past habit situation. Okay?
Teacher,
Yes.
but we cannot translate this about,
Which one?
she would go out and wouldn't be back.
Yes. Uh-huh.
If we translate it, it doesn't do, how can I say sentido?
It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Yes, because here, Danilo, when I say she would go out and wouldn't be back until late, I'm talking about a best habit that she had, okay? And I'm explaining something that is a characteristic behavior that this person had. Suppose I'm talking about someone who is not here anymore, okay? And I want to say something that this person usually did in the past. I'm going to talk about her habit, okay? So I say, oh, my sister, I miss her so much, but she was so crazy. She would go out on a Friday night, for example, and wouldn't be back too late. Yeah, she used to do those things. That was dangerous. But that was so, okay? So I'm talking about my sister's habit in the past, okay?
Yes.
That's the idea, okay? So this is what they want us to notice here, that we can express habits in the present using these verb tenses, and we can express habits in the past. And especially the first one here, I can say the simple past, my sister worked, or I can say my sister would work in a bank. So this is what she used to do in the past, okay? All these guys, all these examples, they have the idea of habits, okay? So can I clear my annotations? Can I clear the things I wrote here? Yes? Have you already copied? Yes, I will clear the annotations, okay? Good. So let's check out the next one. And then after that, we see all the answers, okay? Let's go over to number 3. Look at these sentences. Take a look there. A, B, and C.
I think the letter A is how the letter B in the first.
So let's say, yes, exactly. I think, right? Great, Danilo. When I say here letter A, you're talking about letter A or letter B?
Letter A is, I think it is an attitude toward this habit for of hers or of this.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Okay. All right. So look, my sister works in a bank. Even though the idea is not similar, it's not the same, but I can say my sister is used to working in a bank. The ideas are slightly different. Okay. All right, Danilo. Here I can say
Oh
I'm
no, teacher.
used.
No.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I would say that the letter A express the same sense of the letter B in the one.
Oh, here, letter A, number 1.
No, letter A of number 3,
Um,
or letter B in the number 1.
okay, now I understand, Danilo. So you were comparing letter A from exercise number 3 to letter B in exercise number 1. Okay, she's
Yes.
used to borrowing clothes without asking. Yes, yes, we can do that. Yes, now I understand. Okay, but let's take a look at the other examples too. Okay, I used to live in Rome, but now I live in Paris, so I don't live in Rome anymore. Okay, so this is past habit, and I'm getting used to traveling on the metro. So here, guys, we have 3 examples with used to. Okay, and then they give us different ideas. They give different ideas, each one of them. When I use this combination, imagine we have to kind of place it in a box, okay? Let me try to draw a box here. This is something like a fixed structure. It never changes, okay? So that's why I'm putting used to in a box. How can I use this construction to talk about habits, okay? This is another option I have to talk about habits. I can use used to with the verb to be in the present, okay? For example, I'm used to the noise. I'm used to this. I'm used to that, or he's used to that, okay? So I can say, for example, and then I put, I'm used to the heat in Rio, for example. This is something that I don't like very much, but now I'm used to that. I'm used to something means I'm accustomed. I'm adapted. I after some time I got adapted. So it's a situation that is not ideal, but after some time I got adapted to a situation. Okay? So now I'm okay with this. Not that I like. I don't like, but now I'm adapted. Okay, that's the idea of the verb to be in the present plus used to. All right, guys, so far so good. Okay, so this is one thing. The second one, letter B, I used to live in Rome, but now I live in Paris. So simply I just have the verb, the combination used to plus another verb in the infinitive, okay? Here in the first one, the combination is to be in the present, okay? Or I can also use that in the past when I want to say that I was adapted to something. So when I use that, the combination is that plus used to plus usually plus a noun, okay? This is the structure of the first sentence when I want to say that I'm adapted to something. So this noun, right, guys, can be a noun normally, or it can be an activity transformed into a noun. So when I talk about an activity, not about something, I will put that activity in the gerund or ing form. For example, I'm used to reading books at night. I'm used to reading books at night. That means I don't like very much, but I don't have time. I work all day long. So the only time I have is at night. So that's the only time I have to read my books. So now I'm used to reading books at night. So I must use a gerund here if I want to mention an activity. Okay? So I'm used to dancing. Example, out in the sun. Suppose I'm a dancer and I have to dance outdoors because I don't know, for some reason I can't dance indoors. So then somebody asks me, oh, but how can you dance out in the streets like this? It's so sunny and hot. How can you do it? And I said, oh, I'm used to dancing in the sun. It's okay. Now I'm okay. Right? Okay, guys. So that's the first structure. The second one, I'm going to use the same phrase, used to, but just the way it is without verb to be. And after that, I'm going to use a verb in the infinitive to say what I used to do in the past. Okay? So this is the first one. Let me just put a number here. Just a moment, okay, guys? Let's go here. Number 2. So I used to travel more. Now I don't travel, right? Because of the pandemic, because of all the things that have been going on, I used to travel more. Now, no, not so much, okay? So here I'm just using the phrase plus a verb in the infinitive form, okay? Here it's always like this. So the structure for number 2 is going to be, let me write it down there. Here. It's going to be like the first one, the subject plus used to plus a verb in the infinitive. When I use this structure here, I'm always talking about the past, okay? Nothing else. So I used to dance more. I used to read more in the past. I used to do other things that I don't do nowadays, okay? So here is the simple past or past habits. Here, something I am adapted. Here, past habits. Now, letter C. I'm getting used to traveling on the metro. I'm getting used to traveling on the metro. So am I used already? No, not yet. I'm not adapted, but I am getting used. I am adapting. Okay? This is a way that I have to express something that I'm trying to feel comfortable with. It's not something normal because I don't really like it, but I'm getting used to it. Okay? So the same idea of the first, the structure I'm going to put down here. Okay, number 3. Look, I use the verb get as an auxiliary. Okay, actually here I have to use the verb to be first. So sorry guys, to be plus get. Okay, plus used to, and then of course here after that I'm going to use a noun. Okay, so the third one is the same structure, similar actually to the first. The third and the first are very similar because I talk about being used or getting used to something. So a noun. And as I told you before, this noun can be an activity. So if it's an activity, then I have to make my verb, if I use a verb, a gerund. Transform the verb into a gerund so it can be a noun, okay? So this technique is used when I put ing. So if I want to say, for example, I'm getting used to taking the train every day to work. I'm getting used to taking the train, all right? So here, that's the idea. Do I need to use the present continuous here? I can use this structure in any tense, okay? I can say that in the past, for example, I was getting used to that, but then I had to stop. I was getting used, but then it stopped. I had to stop doing that, okay? Like, for example, now at the pandemic, I'm not taking the train anymore, right? Because I'm at home. But in the past, before the pandemic, I was taking the train to work and I was getting used to taking the train. I wasn't exactly adapted to it, but I was getting used. And then after we had the pandemic, then I stopped taking the train. Now I have to get used again. Okay, guys. After the
Teacher,
yes, baby, tell me.
could I say, I mean, I'm getting used to not take the train every day.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
in the negative, that's the way it is. I'm getting used to not taking the train every day. Perfect. Maybe that was something that I was already accustomed, and then now I'm not doing anymore. So I'm getting used to not taking the train. So this is something very nice. Good. All right, guys. So here we had 3 examples with this structure here. Used to. Okay? We can say used to in the present, but then with the verb to be to express something that I am adapted to. That's the idea. Okay? The adapted situation. The third one, when I use the word get with used to, I'm talking about getting adapted, becoming adapted. I'm talking about the process of adaptation, right? So I am getting used to it, but I'm fine, I'm okay. Or I was getting used to that, okay? And I can also use the phrase used to without the verb to be, but with a verb in the infinitive form to express a past habit that nowadays doesn't happen anymore. Okay, great. So in which sentence, let's see there, guys. Now the question, in which sentence is used a verb?
Letter B.
Very good. Exactly. Only letter B I can consider used a verb. Okay. In all the other 2 sentences here, it's not considered a verb. Okay. So it's like an adjective. Okay. That we use after the verb to be. Like here, I'm okay with the noise. I'm good with the noise. I'm adapted to the noise. So it's more like an adjective. Okay. And here, the same. I'm getting adapted to traveling on the metro. I'm getting okay to traveling on the metro. So it's more like an adjective. All right. So here, the one in letter B is a verb. Okay. And in which is used an adjective, A and C. All right. So let's mark it. Let's write it down here. Let's try to use the marker. Okay. Oh, it's better. So here, which sentence express, oh, sorry, in which one used is a verb? So this is going to be letter B, okay? Oh my God, letter B is terrible. Which one is an adjective? So which is an adjective? A and C. Okay, guys, now let's take a look at the next one. Which sentence expresses a past habit, but now finished?
B.
Exactly, letter B. Past habit, but now it's over, okay? A situation that is familiar and no longer strange.
Letter A.
Yes, exactly. Okay, very good. And a situation that is still strange, but becoming easier.
Letter C.
See, okay? All right, people. Okay, so used to has this peculiarity. It gives different meanings according to what you use with used to. Okay, so let's check out the other ones down here. Yes, then it's the grammar reference. Okay, so if you want to check it out, to have more examples, you can go to page 146, right? There they have a more complete explanation. And by the way, I think I printed that exercise and I posted on Google Classroom for you. So I gave, yeah, now I remember I did it. Look, let me show you. Well, first I need to clear the annotations before I show. So is it okay? Can I clear the annotations, guys? Have you printed?
Yes.
Okay, so let me clear that. All right, now I can show you. Can you see the Google Classroom page? Yes? So here I put, look, expressing habits. So I have here 1, 2, and 3. These 3 parts here, they are from page 146, okay? So let me click here just to show you. Yes, there you go. All right? So you have all the explanation, just in case you don't have the book, right? But here we have the examples. How to express habits in the present. We will see this now in the lesson, okay? Using adverbs of frequency, that's a way. The second part here, habits again, in the present continuous, right? And the idea I give when I use the present continuous for habits, okay? Will and would, like in the first example, we saw the use of will and would to express habits. Look, here they give a very nice idea. I like it. They say they describe both pleasant and unpleasant habits, okay? There we have it. Look, he'll sit at his computer for hours on end, okay? So this is like a typical behavior a person has, okay? When I want to talk about something that is kind of annoying, irritating, I usually use the continuous tense here, okay? But of course, not always is going to be something annoying, because when I use the, for example here, I like Peter, he's always smiling. That's something positive, right? Oh, she's always giving people presents. Like here in number 2, they say, look, however, there is often an element of criticism with this structure. That's why you have to be careful. Compare these sentences said by a teacher. Look, Pedro always asks questions in class. And the second one, Pedro is always asking questions in class. So the first one is a fact. The second one is something annoying. That's how you differentiate. Okay, guys? So there is always, there is usually an adverb of frequency with this use. Like for example, I'm always losing my keys, and that's something very bad, right? She's forever leaving the front door unlocked. Okay, so the idea of the continuous can also have the meaning of criticism. Okay, guys. So here we have that. And then habits number 3, we'll talk about used to. Okay, here we have it. So how we can use this structure, used to talk about past habits, and also to mention something we are accustomed to in the present, or something that we are getting accustomed to. Okay, so here we have the explanation. So you can check that later on. Okay, guys. So let's move back to our book here. Back to page 67, guys. If you don't know the page yet, this is what we are doing. Okay. So now let's check all the answers to this. Let's see if we can get the answers. Okay, let me just see why it's not opening here, people. This is the first one, okay? Like we saw before, letter A, a simple fact about my sister, simple present. Letter B, my attitude. This is very important, right? My attitude toward this habit of hers. I find it annoying. That's why we have this combination of present continuous with the adverb of frequency, always. So when I use this combination, I'm being very specific and showing my attitude towards what somebody does. It's usually criticism, okay? Letter C, characteristic behavior. This is typical of her. So we use will. I can use the short form, or I can use won't in the negative plus the base form. Okay. All right. Next one here. Put sentences A to C into the past. Express sentence A in 2 ways. Let's check it out. Here we have the sentences in the past. My sister worked in a bank. My sister used to work in a bank. This is another option. We put my sister would work in a bank. I put that, but we can also use used to. It's okay too. This one here is even more precise, okay? Why is that more precise? Because used to in the past, like it is here, expresses a past habit or a past situation that doesn't happen anymore. And when I say, oh, my sister would work in a bank, I'm being more nostalgic, right? When I use would to talk about a past habit, I'm being more nostalgic. I'm talking about something that she would do, and I really miss her, as if she weren't here anymore. So I was more negative in my comment. So I can use would and used to, but they have different ideas. Okay, guys, do you understand the difference? When I say would in the past to talk about a past habit someone had, I'm being nostalgic. I'm reminiscing. Okay, do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, that's the difference between would and used to. When I say used to, I'm talking about a fact in the past. Here it's a fact in the present. And here it's a fact in the past, right? And when I use would work in a bank, I'm being really nostalgic. It's because, oh, I miss my sister so much. She was so great. She would work in a bank. She would go to work every day in the rain, not complaining. So stuff like that, okay? Now letter B, she was always borrowing my clothes without asking me. This is a past habit that was annoying. Oh my goodness, whoa. You look Beautiful. And letter C, she would go out on a Friday night and wouldn't be back too late. Okay, guys, so here they are using the short form. All right. Okay, can I clear? Yes. Let's go now. Look at these sentences here. In which sentence is used a verb? Okay, remember that? Let's see. Okay, guys, so like we said before, in letter B, used is a verb followed by the infinitive. In sentences A and C, used is an adjective followed by the preposition to plus a noun or, like I said, a gerund. Okay? Example, I'm used to the noise, a situation that is familiar and no longer strange. This is the second part, okay? The second one, I used to live in Rome, a past habit now finished. I'm getting used to traveling, a situation that is still strange but becoming easier. Okay. All right, people. All right. And then I guess that's it. Yes. Very good. Okay, guys, we have all the answers there. Is everything okay with this box and all the information there? Yes? So
Yes.
now let's do the exercise here, number 5. Match a line in A with a line in B. Then practice saying them. So let's try to do this. I will do the first one with you, okay? Let's see. We used to go.
To school together.
Okay, good. So let's see. All right. Very nice. Now try to do the matching of the other sentences and then we correct, okay? I'll give you 2 minutes to that. Now it's 26 until 28, okay?
Teacher,
Yes, yes,
next to é do lado, né? Next to.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Beside. Next to is similar to beside.
Oh, okay.
All right, people, yes? Can we correct? Let's do it. The second one, guys, what do you have? We used to sit
Next to each other.
yes, next to each other. Great, awesome. The third one, we were always giggling. Do you know the meaning of giggling, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, we were always giggling.
so much.
Okay. Now the next one, we'd go back.
To your house.
The next one, we used to call.
And him, Homer Simpson.
All right. And finally, I'm not used to calling.
You, Emily Ryder.
Yes, very nice. This is related to the text we saw before, okay? So let's just listen and check that, guys. Let's see the audio.
To go to school together.
We used to sit next to each other.
We were always giggling so much.
We'd go back to your house.
We used to call him Homer Simpson.
I'm not used to calling you Emily Ryder.
Okay, guys, could you listen to the audio? Was the sound okay for you there? I don't know, maybe it's a little low here. Let me turn it up a little bit more. Now it will be better. Okay, let me play one more time, okay, people?
Track 29. We used to go to school together.
We used to sit next to each other.
We were always giggling so much.
We'd go back to your house.
We used to call him Homer Simpson.
I'm not used to calling you Emily Ryder.
Okay, guys, you got that? Yeah? Good. So far, so good. Let's see some more examples here, right? So look here, practice. What's she like? We're still this. We're still here, okay, guys, on page 67. So choose an adjective from the box to describe the people in the sentences. So let's take a look at the sentences first, okay? So look, he's always losing things or forgetting where he's put things. What is the best adjective to describe this person? What do you think? We have the adjectives here. You may not know the meaning of all the adjectives, but if you do the exercise, you will be able to find out. Okay? All right? So take a look here. He's always losing things or forgetting where he's put things. So if you have this problem, you are absent mind. Yes, of course. Okay? So look. I'm going to color orange and here orange. Okay? Absent-minded. So if you always forget things, you are absent-minded, right? If you know someone who is always forgetting something, and oh, where did I put this? Where did I put my cell phone? So this person is absent-minded. Now, try to do the other ones. Try to find out by context. When you read the sentence, try to find the best adjective there, even though you may not see the meaning exactly here. But when you read the sentence, you may guess. So then we correct. Okay, now it's 33. I will give you a little longer. Now it turned 34. So I will give you 3 minutes to do that. Okay, let's go until 37. Let's do it. Let's check it out. Okay, the first one we've already done, right? So let's see number 2. She will always cry at the end of a sad movie. She will always cry at the end of a sad movie. What kind of person is that?
Sensitive.
Sensitive. Okay, very nice. Sorry about the noise, guys. All right. So here, number 2. Then, all right. A sensitive person usually cries, right, at the end of movies, even TV commercials sometimes, right? So I think I'm sensitive. I cry sometimes, right? When I'm watching a movie, I usually cry a lot. Number 3, guys. Nothing ever upsets her, annoys her, or worries her. How can we? Easygoing. Very good. So let's choose another color here. Okay, let's choose blue. All right. So think of your easygoing friends, right? They are really nice to be around. Everything is okay all the time. Number 4, I'm always dropping things or bumping into things. Yes, does anybody have that? Sorry, let's skip number 4. Let's go to number 5, okay? She's ruled by her head and not her heart. She will always think things through before she acts. So what is that?
Sensible.
Sensible. Very good. That's the idea. A sensible person is very, very just, very correct. The person always thinks before she acts. So let's put here pink for that. Okay, sensible person. And then number 5. Okay. All right. Number 6. He just won't listen to anyone else's suggestion. No matter what you say, he won't listen.
Stubborn.
Yes, he's stubborn. Very good. Stubborn people just won't listen. Okay, let's put green. Okay. All right. Good. Number 7. I remember Dave. He'd never leave a tip at restaurants.
Stingy. I guess.
Yes, very good. Stingy. So a stingy person is a person who usually doesn't like to, in Portuguese, we say open the hand to nothing, right? It's a person who usually doesn't like to share. Okay. So let's put here yellow. Okay. All right. So number 8. And he'd pick a fight with anyone about anything. He would pick a fight with anyone about anything. Now we have number 4 and number 8. Okay. How can we call a person who picks a fight with anyone about anything?
Argumentative.
Argumentative. Very nice. An argumentative person is a person who is always argumenting, always picking a fight, always getting into arguments, okay, with someone. So it's a little bad. I mean, it's difficult to live with a person like that. So let me choose another color here. Let's put gray for that person. Okay. Wow, really dark. Argumentative. Okay. Now let's see number 4. I'm always dropping things or bumping into things. So what is my characteristic?
Clumsy.
Clumsy. Clumsy. There is a Z sound to that, okay? Clumsy. Clumsy person is always dropping something, always leaving things fall and sometimes bumping into something, okay? So bumping into something is also a person who is clumsy. So sometimes when people drink, they get clumsy, all right? So let's check the answers, people. Let's check it out here. Let's go. All right, there you go. So let's just say the say the adjectives again to remember the pronunciation, okay? So listen, people. Absent-minded. Absent-minded. Number 2, sensitive. Sensitive. Number 3, easygoing. Easygoing. Number 4, clumsy. Clumsy. Number 5, sensible. Sensible. Number 6, stubborn. Stubborn. Number 7, stingy. Stingy. Number 8, argumentative. Argumentative. Okay, guys. All right, I'm just zooming out so we can see the whole page. Okay, guys. So we've done the first exercise here of the practice. Now let's do the last one before we have our break. Okay, so let's zoom in again and go to number 2. All right, add similar sentences to support these statements. So let's see here. Let me zoom in once again so you can have a better picture. Look, example. My roommate is the messiest person in the world. My roommate is the messiest person in the world. So here, what can we add to support these statements? What can we add from here? Let's see.
He is always leaving clothes all over the place.
Yes, exactly. He's always leaving clothes all over the place. He's always leaving everything on the floor. Okay, that's it. So for this one here, guys, because it's already 11:48 and I would like you to have your break, let's check out the answers right away so you know what they want and then we can get it over with. Okay, so here, look. They want us to use verb tenses to express habits, to talk about something that a person usually does. So here we have one example. He never does any housework, okay? He's always leaving his stuff all over the house, like she said. Number 2, let's see there. He never lets me go out with other people. He's always asking me where I've been. Or he will call me in the evening to find out where I am. You see, so all the examples here are using verbs to express a habit that is some kind annoying. So here we have the first one in the present simple. It's a fact. He never lets me go out with other people. That's a fact. The second one, he's always asking me where I've been. He's always asking me. So this is something annoying. I'm using the continuous tense with the word always. So this is something I really don't like. And here, he will call me in the evening and find out where I am. So this is a typical behavior that he has, right? I'm talking about this person's typical behavior. Okay, now let's see number 3. He always wears great clothes. So this is a fact, simple present, okay? He will say something or do something that's so cool. So this is a typical behavior he has. So this is from number 3. Okay, let's just go over there. I will go down a little bit. So you know, here, look. Number 3, Mark is just the coolest guy I know. Okay, so to support this statement, these are some possibilities. Okay, he always wears great clothes. He's saying something. He will say something or do something that's so cool, right, people? Now, number 4, she's always criticizing me. This is something annoying. I use the continuous tense here, present continuous, with the word always. She's always telling me what to do. Again, a habit that is annoying, irritating, right? Present continuous with the word always, the adverb, okay? Next one, here let's see the corresponding sentence to number 4. So you know what, look. Number 4, my mother really gets on my nerves. So this is an expression, okay guys? To get on your nerves is the same as to irritate you. So you can say that, oh, my mother really irritates me. Okay, it's the same. Now, number 5, but my grandma was so sweet. So let's see the corresponding comment. Look, she used to give me candy and presents. So a past habit. Or she would take me on trips to the ocean. You see here, I can also use would to talk about someone who is not there anymore. You are being nostalgic, like I said in the first activity when we started, okay? So I can say used to and or I can say would if I'm nostalgic, okay? So here, she would take me on trips to the ocean. It's short, okay? It's contracted. So we say she'd take me on trips to the ocean. So this is something I loved about my grandma. She would do that when she was here. Okay, guys? Now let's go to number 6. Just a second. Number 6, my dog Bruno was best. Sorry, guys. My dog Bruno was my best friend. Okay, so let's see that. Look, number 6, I used to take him for long walks. This is a fact in the past. I used to take him. We'd walk for miles and miles. So look, using would plus infinitive to talk about a past action that I miss, okay? Or that I feel nostalgic about. He used to follow me around. Another past habit, okay? Next one, number 7, let's see the corresponding sentence. Your problem is that you're self-centered. Your problem is that you're self-centered. So let's see the corresponding comment for that, okay? You're always talking about yourself. So this is criticism. I'm criticizing, okay? I'm using the present continuous with the adverb always to talk about something annoying. So I'm criticizing, okay? You're always talking about yourself. Or I can express a typical behavior that you have. Oh, you will spend hours in front of the mirror. You will spend hours in front of the mirror. In a way, it's also a negative comment, but I'm criticizing, okay? The second one is a typical behavior. I'm giving an example, right? Another one, actually. Now let's see number 8, people. Let's see what it's all about. Sorry for having to go up and down all the time. Let's see here. Number 8. My sister's so nosy. What's the meaning of nosy? Do you know?
It's like when you keep looking into someone's business.
Yes, exactly. That's true. Okay? So, my sister's so nosy. Look, she will always try to find out what I'm doing. So, here it's a typical behavior. I can express that with the simple future and the adverb always. So, she will always try to find out what I'm doing, her typical behavior. Or criticizing. She's always asking me about my private life. Okay. All right, people. So did you take a picture of the examples? This is interesting to help you practice talking about habits in the present or in the past, or even criticizing somebody's behavior. Okay. Okay, can I move down a little bit so you can take another picture if necessary? Because it doesn't show all the answers there. So here we have, okay, now from number 4 to number 8. Okay, people. Can I close now? Yes. Because then you can, for example, use a notebook to write down your answers. It will help you study for your test when it comes. Because this book, unfortunately, doesn't give enough room for students to write. So sometimes you have to write long sentences, and it doesn't have room. So imagine, it's terrible, right? So because of that, I think it's a great idea to have a notebook so you can write down the answers to some questions. Okay, guys. You put the page number, the exercise, and then you record your answers. Even when you take screenshots using your cell phone, it's nice to copy the answers to your notebook, because this way you are studying, you are learning, and consolidating what you studied in class. Okay? All right, guys. So now I think we are done with page 67, and we are good to have our break. Do you have any questions about it? Is everything okay? Yes? So let's have a 10-minute break. Now it's 11:58. So let's consider it noon, okay? So it's 12, and we should be back at 12:10, all right? So you can have a chance to drink some water if you wish. And then before we go, actually, let's take a picture, because we have to take a picture, and if something happens, I can confirm your attendance, everything okay? So let's take a picture first, okay? So let's do this first activity here in number 3, page 68, okay? So in pairs, decide which line in B best combines the line in A. So we can't do that in pairs, but we can do it individually, no problem. So let's go, guys. The first one, my friend Joey buys and sells cars. So we should connect this column to the other one here with letters, okay? So my friend Joey buys and sells cars. Here, the first box is related to the first three ones, okay, guys? And so on and so forth. So numbers 1, 2, and 3 should be here, okay? So take a look. He makes tons of money. Okay. Now let's go to number 2. He's always buying the latest gadgets.
Teacher, what is gadget?
Gadgets. Pronunciation, gadgets. Okay? Gadgets. So what is that, guys? Who knows? Does anybody know? Let me highlight here. What's the meaning of gadgets? Nobody. So a gadget is just like an electronic equipment, something electronic. Example, a cell phone is a gadget. A calculator is a gadget. What else? A portable. It's usually something small, right? We don't call gadget something big, like a smart TV, but it's usually something small. So, for example, a portable TV is a gadget. A radio is a gadget. Okay. So
Okay.
that's the idea. You're welcome. So he's always buying the latest gadgets. For example, letter A, those GPS equipment that people buy to put in the car. So that is also a gadget. A tablet is a gadget. Okay. So he's a real techno geek. A techno geek is a person who likes technology a lot. So the person is always buying the newest and the latest technological gadgets. Okay. So is anybody here a techno geek? Okay. So number 3, he will buy a shirt and only wear it once. What do you think?
B.
Yes, very good. So imagine a person who buys a piece of clothing and only wears it once in a lifetime. Don't you think that's wasteful of him? Okay. So something wasteful is something that spends money unnecessarily. Okay. Or someone who is wasteful is a person who spends money unnecessarily. Now, guys, try to do the other ones and then we check together. I will zoom in so you can see. I think now you can see better, right? Try to match the others and then we correct. I'll give you 3 minutes for that. So until 9:18, okay? All right, yes, let's do it, guys. So, number 4, when I was young, we used to take vacations at the beach. What did you put there, guys?
I put letter B.
Letter B, we'd go to the same place year after year.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if that matches. Number 5, my dad and I would build sand castles and go swimming together.
Letter C.
Letter B again, the same letter B.
No, letter C.
Ah, okay. I remember those days with such fondness. Yes, here, as you can see, he's using would build. So that's nostalgic, right? It's something that you miss, right? And the next one year we went to East Africa.
Letter
Letter,
A.
yes, what an adventure that was. So here we have the simple past, okay? To talk about a fact in the past, okay? So it's nice. Yes, it's really good. Let's take a look at the next ones here. Oh, by the way, guys, do you know the meaning of the word fondness?
No.
When we say, I remember those days with such fondness. Fondness is the same as tenderness, affection. Okay, so let me write it down for you here. Affection, tenderness, okay, this good feeling, right? So I remember those days with such fondness. Okay. All right, let's go to number 7 now. John usually does the cooking. This one is good. I like this last one here because they give you the difference. They show you the difference of each verb tense to talk about habits. Okay? So let's see. Here we have the simple present. So John usually does the cooking. This is a fact. Which one does it match with?
Letter D.
Okay, excellent. But he isn't tonight. I am. I am doing the cooking. Okay? So, fact, fact. Now let's go to number 8. He used to do the cooking.
Letter C.
Yes. This is best habit in the this is best habit in the past, of course. So used to do, when I use only used to and then infinitive, I'm talking about a past habit. So this situation doesn't happen anymore usually, okay? So we don't do that anymore. So he used to do the cooking, but then he stopped, okay? Very good. Number 9, he's used to doing the cooking. Look, here we have a different structure.
I think it is, but because he has been doing it for years.
Very nice. Letter A. When I say that somebody is used to doing something, I'm saying that somebody is accustomed. Okay, somebody is well adapted. So he is accustomed because he's been doing it for years. Okay, good. Now, number 10, he's getting used to doing the cooking. Letter B. Excellent. but he still burns things. Maybe one day he will get it. Okay, so he's getting used means he's getting adapted, he's getting accustomed to doing it. Okay? All right, people, let's see if everything is okay. Yes, congratulations. Very good, guys. Perfect. Let me clear my here. Okay, very nice. So now, people, let's move on to this next part here. Look at this picture. What can you see in the picture? Yes, a family. Yes, good. A mother, a father, and two children. Apparently a boy and a girl. Is this picture old or new?
Oh,
Yes. Yes, it's an old photo, right? An old picture. We can tell by the way they are dressed, by their hairstyles, and also by the quality of the photo. Okay. So, in which decade do you think the photo was taken? According to their hairstyle and their clothing. When do you think this picture was taken? In the 60s, in the 70s? It's,
70?
yes, in the 70s, probably, yeah. 60s or 70s. Now listen to four people talking about their parents. Is it a good relationship or was it a good relationship? In what ways? So here we can expect to listen to people talking about their relationship at the moment and their relationship in the past. Okay? So listen up.
Track 30. 1.
I got along very well with my mom. She was my best friend, and she still is. We had to get along, really. My dad left when I was 3. I used to tell her everything. Well, almost everything. And she'd talk to me very openly, too. Sometimes she'd say to me, "Don't go to school today. Stay with me." And we'd go shopping or something like that. It's a wonder I had any education at all, the number of days I missed school.
2.
It was my dad who used to drive me crazy. He was always telling me to get my hair cut and dress better. My mom was much more lenient. She never really minded how I dressed. But she would get angry when I picked at food before she'd put it on the table. "Get your hands off," she'd say. But I was always so hungry. I had such a big appetite for such a small, spindly kid. Then at 16, I suddenly shot up. I'm 6 feet 5 inches now.
3.
My mom was always nagging me, telling me to get off the computer, turn off the TV, pick up my things, do my homework. She'd go on, and then she'd be all put out when I'd shut myself in my room. I just needed some peace and quiet each day. She just didn't realize how hard it was for me at school. You see, I wasn't very popular, so I would really need some time to myself when I got home.
4. I have very fond memories of my childhood. To me, it represented security. We used to do a lot together as a family. I remember walks and picnics and going for car rides on a Sunday afternoon. Every Friday when my dad came home, he'd bring us each a treat, just something little. My mother used to say he was spoiling us, but why not? It didn't do us any harm.
Okay, guys, so from what we could listen, how was the relationship? Do you remember? Did they have a good relationship with their parents?
The first
The number
one,
one.
Mm-hmm.
yes, but the
Uh,
second, not really.
Uh-huh.
The third, not at all.
Mhm.
And the last one, yes, was good. Was
Good.
good, really.
Very nice. Excellent. Yes, it all
So
reminds us.
so.
Yeah.
So é mais ou menos, né?
Yes.
So so.
Yes, that's true. So if we think about it, we always tend to remember our own parents, right? If we have a good relationship with them or not. So we keep thinking, right? So let's listen again. These lines are similar to what they say, these lines here. What are their actual words? So I will play that one more time and then we will see that. Each one from one of the people who spoke. So let's see here.
Track 30.
teacher,
1.
Sorry. Yes, Danilo.
I didn't understand. What have to do?
Okay, all right. So look, listen again. Can you see that? Sorry.
Yeah.
These lines are similar to what they say. Similar is not exactly the same, just similar, okay? What are their actual
Okay.
words? So what are the words they actually say? So here we have the lines. For example, the first one, she talked to me very openly. We used to go shopping. This is what we have in the exercise, but they are not exactly the way they said in the audio.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they are similar. So they want us to get their actual words. Okay, the words they said for real. Okay, this is what we need to focus on. So let's go one by one and I will show the transcript. Okay, look.
I got along very well with my mom. She was my best friend, and she still is. We had to get along, really. My dad left when I was 3. I used to tell her everything. Well, almost everything. And she'd talk to me very openly, too.
Okay, so let's pause here to see the first one. Instead of saying, she talked to me very openly, here she said, she'd talk to me very openly. She'd talk to me. So she's using would here because she's nostalgic about her mom, okay?
Sometimes she'd say to me, "Don't go to school today. Stay with me." And we'd go shopping or something like that.
Okay, guys, so here they are using we would go shopping in the short form, we'd go shopping or something like that. Okay, we'd go shopping means that they had this habit in the past and she misses it. Okay, she's nostalgic. Now let's move on to the next one.
It's a wonder I had any education at all, the number of days I missed school.
2.
It was my dad who used to drive me crazy. He was always telling me to get my hair cut and dress better. My mom was much more lenient. She never really minded how I dressed.
So let's go there here. So he was always telling me to get my hair cut and dress better. So here he kept telling me to get my hair cut. It's the same, right? He was always telling me, he kept telling me. So for sure, he's using the word always, the adverb, and the past continuous to express something annoying, something he didn't really like, okay, very much. So that's why he decided to use this structure, okay? So he was always telling me. to get my hair cut and dress better.
But she would get angry when I picked at food before she'd put it on the table.
You see, instead of saying she used to get angry, he said, sorry, she would get angry when I picked at food before she put it on the table. Okay, so here, even though he is kind of criticizing, he's talking about a habit that she had in the past. Okay, and he can use would, no problem. Okay, that's okay. Next one, number 3. Let's go.
Get your hands off, she'd say. But I was always so hungry. I had such a big appetite for such a small, spindly kid. Then at 16, I suddenly shot up. I'm 6 feet 5 inches now.
3.
My mom was always nagging me, telling me to get off the computer, turn off the TV, pick up my things, do.
So my mom was always nagging me. Here, instead of just saying the simple past, just to say that it was a fact, here she's saying that it was something annoying. So past continuous with the word always, okay? So my mom was always nagging me. Good. Next one.
My homework. She'd go on, and then she'd be all put out when I'd shut myself in my room.
And then she'd go on, and then she'd be all put out when I shut myself in my room. Okay, so what's the meaning of that, guys? She'd be all put out. Do you know? She would be pissed. Yes, she would be really angry. Okay, so here, instead of saying she used to be, she would be. Okay, she'd be all put out when I shut. Okay, guys, so it's possible too.
I just needed some peace and quiet each day. She just didn't realize how hard it was for me at school. You see, I wasn't very popular, so I would really need some time to myself when I got home.
4.
I have very fond memories of my childhood. To me, it represented security. We used to do a lot together as a family. I remember
Okay, so there you go. The first one, instead of saying we did a lot together, he says we used to do a lot together as a family. Okay, simple, past habit.
walks and picnics and going for car rides on a Sunday afternoon. Every Friday when my dad came home, he'd bring us each a treat, just something little.
So every day when my dad came home, he'd bring us each a treat. So he would bring, okay? Instead of just saying he brought us each a treat, saying that as a fact, I'm saying here something that I really feel nostalgic about. I feel I miss it, right? And I'm talking about that habit. So he'd bring it each a treat, just something little, okay?
My mother used to say he was spoiling us, but why not? It didn't do us any harm.
Okay, people, you got that? Yes?
Yes.
Great, fantastic. Here, they want us to write a few sentences about the relationship between you and your parents, but you don't need to do it if you don't want. Okay, guys, feel free about it because this is something very personal. So let's move on to number 7, okay? Answering questions. Answer the questions with the correct form of used to do or be used to doing or get used to doing something, okay? The first one, you don't like your new teacher, do you? Not a lot, but we are getting used to her, okay? Number 2, can you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning? No problem, I'm used to it. So that's okay. no problem. Now try to do the others, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we correct. Okay, do you understand what you have to do? Yes, good.
Yes.
So I'll give you 2 minutes for that until 41. Okay, let's correct, guys. Let's listen to correct this one. Okay, let's see.
Track 31. 1.
You don't like your new teacher, do you?
Not a lot, but we're getting used to her.
2.
How can you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
No problem. I'm used to it.
3.
How come you know Buenos Aires so well?
I used to live there.
4.
How are you finding your new job?
Difficult, but I'm getting used to it little by little.
5.
Do you read comic books?
I used to when I was young, but not anymore.
6.
You two argue so much. How can you live together?
After 20 years of marriage, we're used to each other.
Guys, this is very nice. We have very nice examples here of habits in the past. I will play that one more time if you didn't get all the answers. Okay. So let's go.
Track 31. 1.
You don't like your new teacher, do you?
Not a lot, but we're getting used to her.
2.
How can you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
No problem. I'm used to it.
3.
How come you know Buenos Aires so well?
I used to live there.
4.
How are you finding your new job?
Difficult, but I'm getting used to it little by little.
5.
Do you read comic books?
I used to when I was young, but not anymore.
6.
You two argue so much. How can you live together?
After 20 years of marriage, we're used to each other.
Okay, guys. So here we have the answers for you guys. How did you do it? Yes, did you get everything okay?
Yes.
Here, the complete answer, because some of them, they don't fit in. So, because they are too long. So be careful, right? When you print screen this kind of exercise, because there are some words missing. So here, I'm getting used to, okay? And the other ones are fine. We are used to, we used to, I used to, and I'm used to. Okay? Great, people. So let's move on now to the last part. Let me zoom out, sorry. This last one will be very easy. super fast, okay? A teacher to remember. Take a look at the two pictures here. What can you see in the pictures and what is different about them?
The school. The school, and the difference is that the class today, how can I say parece?
Seems to be.
Yes, it seems to be more funny or more attractive.
More fine, yes, more fine, more attractive. Okay. What's the difference between funny and fine? Do you know?
No.
Fine and funny. Does anybody know?
Oh, one is an adjective and the other is adverb.
No, they're both adjectives. Yes, they are both. Yes, but they have different meanings. They have different meanings. Does anybody know the difference?
No, I don't know.
Nobody. Okay. So something fun is something exciting. For example, if you travel to Disney World in Florida, it is fun. You have a lot of fun when you go there because the parks are amazing. So it's fun to go to Disney World, okay? So if you have a chance, go there at least once because it's really fun, okay? Now, something funny is when somebody tells you a joke and then you laugh because the joke is funny, all right? For example, Paulo Gustavo. Do you remember Paulo Gustavo, the comedian who passed away
Yes.
last week, I think? Yes, he died.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he was very young, but unfortunately, he died of COVID-19. He was very funny as a comedian. Okay, he was really funny. He was a good comedian. Okay, so that's the difference between fun and funny. All right. So here, when you describe, for example, classes today and classes in the past, you could say that classes today are more fun.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good. Now, in the past, here, look at the people, look at the children. They are so worried about discipline because education used to be stricter and used to be more full of discipline. So that's why they are like that. They're really self-conscious and worried about doing the right thing. That's why they are not relaxed, like here in the second picture. Here in the second picture, the students are more relaxed, but here in the first picture, they aren't. Okay. All right, guys. So how have teaching styles changed over the years?
So I think this the teacher is not very how can I say rigoroso?
Strict.
Yes, and the teacher is not very strict, and I think in this case it is right. The teacher is more funny.
The teacher is more fun.
Fun too?
More fun.
Oh.
Oh my God, striked. Gosh, just a second, guys. Here, sorry. I had a bug now in my brain. So strict, that's how you spell, okay? So the teacher now is not as strict as the teacher in the past. Okay, guys? The teachers in the past, they used to be stricter. They used to be more disciplined, more rigid, just like you said. Nowadays, the teachers are not as strict. Okay, they are more fun. They are more
Yes.
relaxed. Okay,
And
so
today we have more tools to education.
more tools. Yes, exactly. We have media, we have computers, we have so many other things that in the past we didn't used to have. Okay. All right, guys. So let's move on down a little bit more here. Okay. Listen to, let me clear my annotations. Okay, guys. So listen to 4 people, Shan, Samantha, Rupert, and Charlotte, talk about a teacher they remember well. Answer these questions after each one. Don't worry, we will not have to do this, but I will play the audio for you. Okay, guys, so you can see what they talk about, and then we will see the answers. Okay, don't worry.
Track 32. A teacher to remember. Sean.
Interestingly enough, the teacher I'll never forget is my Latin and ancient Greek teacher. You may think they're dry subjects, dead languages, but Mr. Lang, the teacher, somehow used to make these dead languages seem stone cold easy. He looked the part. He was kind of traditional looking, very formal and serious. He'd always wear a dark green or dark brown suit, and he had a long black mustache. He'd been at the school for over 20 years, so he must have been in his 50s, I guess. You'd think that everything about him was boring and serious because he never smiled or laughed, never. But somehow he was clear, interesting, and entertaining. He had a razor-sharp wit, and there were jokes hidden in his words if you listened carefully, and we all did. I passed my final exams, but I didn't study Latin or ancient Greek in college. However, I did study philosophy, and that was a direct result of learning about the great philosophers, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, from Mr. Lang.
Samantha.
My most memorable teacher, I think that would be Mrs. Chapman. I was about 13 or 14, and she was our English and drama teacher. She was short and plump, dumpy in fact, with mousy brown hair. She looked like everybody's kind, middle-aged aunt, but she wasn't very nice. She had a big, loud voice, and she used to like to get us to act out the plays we were studying, and she'd shout, "Speak up! Speak up and think about the meaning of the words." But what I remember most about her is her ruler. She had this wooden ruler, and if anyone was looking sleepy or bored, she'd poke them on the shoulder with this ruler and shout, "Wake up, girl!" or "boy." Then one day, she spotted someone asleep, sound asleep, and snoring at the back of the class. Mrs. Chapman was so furious, she slammed the ruler down on his desk, and it broke in half. We were all scared stiff. She didn't throw the ruler away after that. It was even sharper when she poked you in the back. Maybe her classes helped me, though. I'm a lawyer now, and when I have to speak in court, Mrs. Chapman's words ring in my ear. "Speak up! Speak clearly, girl!"
Rupert.
I don't think I ever had a favorite teacher, but I had a least favorite teacher. And weirdly, he was probably the most successful teacher I ever had. You see, when I was in elementary school, I was really good at math. I could do it all. But when I went to high school, I had a succession of dismal math teachers. And by the time I took my final exams as a junior, I was absolutely hopeless. I failed miserably, and I needed to pass math to graduate from high school, so I had to retake it as a senior. This time with a very different teacher, Mr. Biggs. I have no idea how old he was, just old. But you know when you're 16, 35 seems old. I'd say he was probably in his late 30s, and big like his name, with a huge, booming voice. He was very sarcastic, and it seemed to be his mission in life to embarrass his students, and me in particular, because I was retaking the class as a senior. He was always calling on me to go to the front of the class to do problems on the board, and he'd sneer if I got it wrong, which was most of the time. I hated him with a passion, but actually his explanations were crystal clear, and gradually over the year I improved. I got a really good grade on the final exam and was able to apply to some pretty good colleges.
Charlotte.
Well, one teacher I'll never forget is Miss Wilkinson. She taught chemistry and biology. I didn't like her subjects much, probably because I wasn't very good at them. She seemed old to me, but she was probably just in her early 30s and kind of tall and gangly. She drove this ancient car, and she always seemed too big for it. She had to crouch over the steering wheel. Anyway, the reason I remember her so well is because I think she fell for my dad. Really? You see, he'd sometimes pick me up from school, and one day, there she was in her car, and she couldn't get it to start. So, of course, my dad, being the sweet gentleman he was, helped her. Miss Wilkinson was glowing with gratitude. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Gallio. You're so kind, so kind." She went all weak and wobbly, not at all like she was when she was yelling at us in class. And then every time he came to pick me up after that, somehow Miss Wilkinson would appear, and she was always asking me about him. "How's your father, Charlotte?" "Just fine, Miss Wilkinson. He and my mom are going to the beach this weekend." I just made that up to see her reaction. My friends and I used to giggle about it. When I mentioned it to my dad, he just laughed and said, "Don't be silly, Charlotte. Nobody would fall for an old, boring guy like me." But my mom knew better.
That's really nice, isn't it, guys? That's really cool. So let's see the answers to the questions before we go. Yes? Great. Let's check it out. Here they ask questions like, what was the teacher's subject? So each one of them had a different teacher, a different subject. So here description. So it's really lengthy and time consuming, right? What is said about the age of the teacher? Why is he or she so memorable? Okay, guys. So you can just take a picture if you wish. So you can have, look, a lot of information. 2 pages, right? So take a picture of the first 5, okay? Okay, guys, can I move down? Yes?
Yes.
Now Samantha. And as you can notice, guys, in all situations, you have examples of habits in the past, making comments about other people's habits or negative behavior, okay? Now I'm just showing the last part of Samantha because it wasn't fitting in the window. Now let's go to the next page. Here we have 2 people more. Just a second. Let me show you the first one, Rupert. All right. And now let's move on to Charlotte. Okay. Can I close? Yes? Great, guys. So here, just showing you the reason for this activity, let me zoom in here so you can just see the last one, which is the spoken activity, guys. Here in number 3, they want us to listen to get more details. They ask more questions about the listening, but we don't need to do that one since you already have the answers to the first part, okay? So I would like to show you this topic here to finish, adjective intensifiers, okay? So example, look at these lines from the audio script. Which words intensify the adjective? This is the focus, this part, okay? Here, the first one says, he used to make these dead languages seem stone cold easy. Instead of saying very easy, he used stone cold easy. So these adjectives, they can be used as intensifiers, okay? For example, he had a razor sharp wit. Sorry, he had a razor sharp wit. Wit is intelligence, okay? So a razor sharp wit, it means that he was very intelligent and fast in his thoughts, okay? So here we have the answers to number 2. You can just copy for now, and then after class, you can take a look at the sentences and see if they make sense to you, right? So look, the first one says, they live in this great big house in the middle of Boston. So just to intensify that the house is big. Number 2, I only made one tiny little mistake, just to intensify that the mistake was very small, okay, during my driver's test. Number 3, careful with the soup. It's boiling hot. Boiling is the same as fervendo in Portuguese. When I use boiling with the word hot, I'm saying that it's really hot. It's very hot, okay? So careful with the soup, it's boiling hot. It's just an adjective to intensify, okay? Don't scald yourself. Scald is the same as to burn yourself severely, as to the point of peeling your skin, okay? So don't scald yourself. Don't get yourself burned. Number 4, it's freezing cold. This is another way to intensify that it's really, really cold. So it's freezing cold in here. Number 5, do you like my car? It's brand new. Another way to intensify that it's the latest model, it's really new, okay? Number 6, don't worry, you won't wake the kids. They're sound asleep. So sound asleep means that they are sleeping deeply. So don't worry, you won't wake them up. I take a cold shower every morning, then I feel wide awake. I really wake up after I take that shower, okay? So to feel wide awake is to feel fully awakened, okay? Number 8, I'm fed up with this class. Me too, I'm bored stiff. So finally, when you say that when you want to say that you are really bored, you can use that expression. Oh, I'm bored stiff, okay? So that's it, people. Do you have any questions about it? Is everything okay? Let me show you our page on Google Classroom to show you the homework, okay, for our lesson today. Let me just maximize it a little bit so you can see better. Can you all see it? Yeah? So here, guys, I posted for you some material about habits, present and past habits. Now, from, from the book. From the book, I printed this one, and this one. But this here and this one here, they are from different sites, okay? And finally, I post here something we talked on this last page, adjectives and special intensifiers. Okay, so you can check it out, it's really nice. This is only an image, it's only a picture to illustrate intensifiers, all right? So the homework is going to be workbook pages 56, 57, and 60. Guys, do you have the answer key to the workbook? I don't remember if I sent to you, so you can self-correct your homework. No, you don't have?
No, we don't have.
Oh, okay. So I will send the answer key to your workbook. Okay, guys. So you can update your exercises and check for yourselves. If you have any questions about the workbook, you can talk to me, okay? Or send me a message via WhatsApp, or even talk to me in class. But make sure you do the exercises there, okay? I will send you the worksheet with the answer key, okay? So you can check yourselves. All right, people. So thank you very much for coming. Let me see if I have everybody there. Pedro, I loved to see you here. Thank you very much for coming today. Let me take another picture. Just a second. I'll take a different picture now. Let me see if I can do this. If it's not going to take me a long time. Some people do this easily and fast. I take some time to do it. Oh, great. Awesome. So let me take a picture only with the names, just in case. All right, I got it. So people, thank you so much. See you next Saturday, okay? Have a great weekend and be careful. Protect yourselves, all right? Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you so much, Nathan. That was really nice. I love to see you here too. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, João Victor Bazani. How nice. Congratulations, guys. Thank you, Stair and Danilo. Thank you so much. I loved your participation. Okay, Danilo. And everybody else, Kathleen, Stair, you're always participating. Thank you very much, guys. I loved our class. Thank you.
Thank you,
Take care.
teacher.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.